So nope, the title that you are seeing is not incorrect. Just yesterday, there was some pretty big news announced. As you can see, Bloodborne video game getting R-rated animated movie adaptation from Sony. This is something that I really didn't believe. I was streaming, people came in, "Bro, did you see the new Bloodborne movie is happening?" I was like, what? It must be some type of like rumor going around. Then I saw that Jacksepticeye was at the helm of it, and I was like, no way, this is real. But this is entirely real. PlayStation's Bloodborne is being developed into an R-rated animated feature for Sony Pictures that the studio says will embrace the carnage that made the game so popular. Sanford Panich, president of Sony Pictures Entertainment Motion Picture Group, promised during the studio's CinemaCon presentation that the long-rumored film will be very true to the gory spirit of Bloodborne, which follows a traveler who journeys into a gothic city full of nightmarish creatures. The film is co-produced by PlayStation Productions, Lyrical Animations, and creator and gamer Sean McLaughlin, better known as his pseudonym Jacksepticeye. So it's true. There is a Bloodborne animated movie coming out soon. Well, I say soon. No idea when, right? But this has kind of been something that has kind of been in the rumor mill for a while, right? Hell, I don't know if you guys remember, like 10 years ago, I made a video talking about a possible Bloodborne HBO TV show that was getting made that was supposed to be live action. I remember talking about how much better it would be if it was animated. And here we are many years later, and an official Bloodborne video game R-rated, which is good, obviously. Like, if this thing, it literally has blood in the name, right? It's gonna have to be gory, it's gonna have to be violent, and I just really do hope they do follow the lore of the game. They are true to the story, but like it's saying, apparently they are supposed to be. First of all, I don't know much about Jacksepticeye. I don't know if he has like experience doing production for any type of like movies or TV shows or anything like that. I know he voiced a character in that superhero game recently. I know he's played a lot of Bloodborne, you know, but I don't exactly know the reason why he was one of the choices. You know, I guess if it came to people, I'm glad at least somebody who has played the game a lot is a part of it in some way. And one interesting thing to note, by the way, no mention of From Software. So if you think about it, I don't know if From Software is really involved in this at all. Again, it's a Sony property. Sony could do whatever the hell they want with it. Now, if you guys remember, the Blue Point stuff happened not too long ago, like a couple months ago, right? A lot of people were shitting on Sony, talking about how they mentioned From Software didn't want to do a remake of Bloodborne, which is the reason they didn't do it. You know, they asked Miyazaki apparently, and he had said that he didn't want it to happen, so it didn't happen. And then people are obviously like, you know, well, if From Software doesn't want it, then, you know, Sony won't do it. And then here we have a full animated movie that, from the looks of it, seems to really have no involvement of From Software at all. Now, other companies involved is this Lyrical Animation, which seems to, you know, by the sounds of it, probably is doing the animation for the movie. Now, they don't really seem to have done anything. Everything so far seems to kind of be in the works to be announced. A Death Stranding mosquito animated show. I don't know how much I'll show of this, but if you guys remember this preview, it was, you know, it looks all right, and it seems to be the same company doing this that is doing the Bloodborne animated show. Now, I will say the 3D, it looks a little rough, you know, like it obviously has a specific art style. It kind of is a little bit cel shaded, but I'm not a massive fan of the look of the animations for this. So, you know, is it going to be very similar? You know, there's some cool moments. Clearly, you can tell that it's got its own style, but I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it looks a little bit clunky, but again, it's not to say that this is exactly what the Bloodborne show will look like. They also seem to be adapting Hell Followed Us, which is just a novel. I'm not exactly sure what the novel's about. I've never read it. There doesn't seem to really be too much information on any type of animation or trailer they've released so far, just obviously that the book exists, and then now Bloodborne in co-production though with Columbia Pictures and Sony and PlayStation. Obviously this is bound to be a pretty big release. I will say it's hard to kind of give an opinion, right? Because it's well, we don't know what it's possibly going to be like. It can literally come out and be absolutely amazing and blow everybody's minds, or it can come out an absolute dog pile of shit. I'm not going to judge it so far, even though so far the people that are involved with it, again, no hate towards like Jacksepticeye or anything. I know he has played the games a lot. He's very popular. But is he the right person for this? Who knows? I certainly wouldn't want that job, man. But I think that if he decided to go for it, there's just no fucking way this dude does not know the lore like the back of his hands and is not going to be there to at least give some hints. Now, again, the directors are very important as well. This lyrical animations, right? Are they going to want to take advice from Jacksepticeye, who is very knowledgeable of the game? Who knows? Will they go the stupid route and be like, we're going to change things up a little bit? But the good thing is right now, I don't know how much you want to trust the CEO of Sony saying that the game is going to be very true to the spirit of Bloodborne. What does that mean? Does that mean that we're going to get Eldritch Beasts, very bloody Eldritch Beasts, but different story? Or does that mean everything's going to be very faithful? Who knows, right? Who knows? This is all speculation right now, but this is a 100% confirmed thing that is happening. And trust me, man, I was very surprised when this got announced. But let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear your opinions. Do you think that Vadi Vidya should be contacted as a writer for the story as well? I feel like obviously if there's going to be anybody who knows a lot of the lore, it's going to be him. I think having more people that just push From Software's main story and the core of From Software's story forward is the best thing you can possibly do. More than make it something else that's new, that is their own, and hopefully they go all out with the animation. Because again, man, Bloodborne, the game itself gets absolutely ridiculous with some of the visuals in the game. The colors in Bloodborne are so freaking beautiful. One of the best looking video games of all time, in my opinion. And if they keep that kind of weird, ethereal, gothic, colorful look to the movie, and I know some of those are opposites, but Bloodborne just happens to do it so well. When you're in a gothic city and you look up and the sky's purple and red and orange and just blends so beautifully together, I hope they keep that spirit alive for this movie. As more stuff gets released, and who knows when we'll get like a trailer or some type of release or announcement date, I'll update everybody if we get anything new. But thank you guys so much for watching. Just a short one for now. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.